Hey guys, welcome to the channel. My name's David. On this episode, we're going to be breaking down, there's a couple of liberal ministers making fools of themselves and they get ripped by these reporters. This is embarrassing. This is one of the most embarrassing videos I've seen in a long time. So essentially there's a press conference that these liberal ministers call. So the reporters show up, they're like, okay, they set up their cameras and all that stuff. And it just turns into a real, it's a real show. Look at this.
Hello, everyone. Mr. McKinnon and I are here today to discuss what we think is a very serious issue. We've been seeing coming out of Mr. Poilievre in the last few days. Mr. Poilievre has had an opportunity now with at least 3 different news organizations, friendly news organizations, I would add, to lay out his plan. What his plans are, what he plans to do moving forward, and we've yet to see anything substantive. He's had long-form interviews with some very friendly news organizations, and we're not seeing anything come from him.
So this is his main complaint here, is Pierre Poilievre hasn't stated any sort of major... I mean, he has. If you go to any interview, he's already said so many things, like he wants to mandate that there has to be so many units built next to transit stations that are going to take 6,000 government buildings and convert them into housing or low-income housing or whatever. Like there's he has a whole bunch of stuff he's already stated. So I don't know why this guy's saying this. He's just trying to stir up stuff. I don't know this guy's name. I've seen him a few times. He's a real piece of work. He's just an absolute liar, this guy. And he's one of the, I think he sits in the 3rd or 4th row of the Liberal bench. He's a real snake.
Building.
So he just goes on and rambles some more. This other guy jumps in here too.
What we've seen in the last few days is Mr. Poilievre choose some very comfy, fuzzy little interview spaces where he can spew his right-wing stuff without really having any kind of aggressive questioning. We have not heard Mr. Poilievre be questioned on policy, on specifics, on how possibly, having spoken about housing for all these months, how he could possibly arrive with a plan that is less ambitious than ours.
These guys talking about having a plan. You guys have no plan. You've destroyed our country. I guarantee Trudeau went over to these guys like, hey, you gotta just go and distract and throw some mud on his name and just make a mess.
How he can get away with not talking about specifics on climate change. How he can talk about axing one of what is the world's most effective carbon limiting mechanisms.
Yeah, the carbon tax is limiting people's ability to eat, dumb moron. These liberals are just,
is a price on pollution, and how he could get away with withdrawing climate incentive checks from Canadians that Canadians benefit from. So
that wording there, withdraw climate incentive checks. This is just bonkers, man. So I have another video where I broke down the effect of the carbon tax. Because if you get a rebate for I think it worked out to be $360 if you're in low income. You get $360 per year, but the effect on the entire economy, and whether it's the food being trucked to the grocery store jacking the prices, the jacked up of, all these different factors, it worked out to be $7,500 per year. You'd have to pay more. So they keep leaning on that little incentive thing, but it's really wrecking Canadians' lives. These guys are a disgrace to humanity. We should take away their citizenship and ship them off all to Ukraine.
All of that being said, we are not going to sit here and listen to Mr. Poilievre's reductive talk without it being responded to, and make sure that Canadians are drawn, that we draw their attention to not only what he's saying, but what he is not saying. And what he is not saying is anything about a specific plan to move Canada forward.
What does it say about the fact that you're holding a press conference to respond to his year-end interviews? I mean, how far back on your heels are you that you feel the need to do that? We haven't seen the Conservatives respond to any of the Prime Ministers.
What it says is that we have confidently, for 4 months in this House, put forward plans, specific plans, detailed plans on everything that I just talked about.
She's like, you're back on your heels, like you guys are bumbling fools. She basically just called them bumbling fools. That's all you can do. I'm sorry. I know some of you probably be angry that I'm laughing, but that's the only thing you can do at this point. If I don't laugh, I get really rage fury in my eyes. So I have to laugh at these stupid idiots.
Mr. Polyev arrives with these tropes and these slogans and doesn't manage to get questioned at all aggressively about his specific plans to improve the lives of Canadians.
That's real rich, buddy. Name the last question that Justin Trudeau actually answered. Name the last one. What does anyone know? What's the last question he answered? Has he ever answered any questions? I don't know. I don't know. I can't think of one. It's like, Mr. Speaker, I gotta go to my hair appointment.
I'm just confused as to why we're here and why we're listening and doing this.
Mr. Polyev has spent the last 3 days giving these fuzzy, comfy little interviews in safe spaces for him. That's all very nice for him. Soit dit en passant.
She's laughing. You can hear her, that lady laughing in the back. Oh, God. You can't make this up. She's laughing right at these guys' face.
Aucun en français à date. We're going to hear some specifics. But yet, Mr. Polyev comes forward with the same tired tropes that Mr. Gerritsen and I listened to and all of you listened to every day for the last 4 months.
Why is he leading in every public opinion poll then? For almost more than almost a year now.
You know what Diefenbaker said, right? Polls are for dogs. Polls are for dogs. Polls are for dogs. We're going to be very happy and very confident to put our plans and our specifics in front of Canadians and let Mr. Polyev try and get away with these tropes and these tired tropes that he's involved in.
Even the reporters are just ripping them. Like, what did he say? Polls are for dogs? Oh, God. These guys are just idiots. They're just bumbling idiots.
Et oui, de faire le
So they speak in French a bit here.
Are
you sort of trying to unroll a new strategy in that the Liberals are trying something new or trying to fight back more against Polyev?
Listen,
explain the thinking behind this.
Listen, first and foremost, we're going to keep delivering for Canadians. That's what we...
Delivering for Canadians. Yeah, delivering tents, maybe. These people, God, we have the dumbest idiots in this country running it. It's just... I would honestly, right now, I would go down. I've been finding some homeless camps in town here, which is really sad. I'm going to be going to an interview with a lot of these people and just getting a face-to-face with the people that are really down there. I would take any one of those people in those homeless camps that are sleeping in tents. I would put them as prime minister. I don't have to meet these people. I would just grab any one of them and make them prime minister over what we have right now. That's how bad things are in this country, and they would do a better job.
We've done, that's what we've demonstrated that we're going to continue to do. But it's also important for us to highlight and show Canadians what the alternative is, quite frankly. To start saying what he will do about the environment, how he will protect our environment, rather than just routinely attacking a plan that, quite frankly, is accepted throughout the world. It's time for Mr. Polyev to start talking about...
The carbon tax is not accepted throughout the world, man. No one wants to be taxed to death. Where are you sending that money? What have you done with that money? Does that get put into the paper airplane and you shoot that off into the sky and, oh, climate's fixed now. Oh, the temperature's gone down. Yeah.
We're going to continue to point out where Mr. Polyev continues to misinform Canadians on what his plans are, because we know at the end of the day, Mr. Polyev's approach is exactly like Donald Trump's approach from the United States. It's all about feeding in and feeding off of the emotions of people to try to get the better of them.
That's literally what this guy's doing right now. It's like literally what he's trying to do. He just mentioned Donald Trump because he wants to get people scared that, oh, we're going to have this Donald Trump person running our country and play off the fear. That's literally what this piece of crap just said. Well, he didn't say that, but that's exactly what he means. That's exactly what he's doing. Like, look at this. Like, is this kind of what we should be having in the government? This guy's an absolute fool and a disgrace.
One of our jobs is going to be to point that out, and that's exactly what we're doing here today.
But isn't that, isn't this what an election campaign is for? Like, pardon me, we're not in a campaign. That's typically when a leader will put out a platform. That's when they detail their policy.
I mean, you would have to ask yourself, isn't the way that Mr. Poilievre acts now and has always been acting, what an election
He revealed his platform in 2013. He revealed it in the 2015 election campaign.
Pardon me?
Justin Trudeau
Yes.
became leader in 2013. Didn't
Right.
reveal a platform then. He revealed it in the,
But we were
in the election
certainly,
campaign.
but we were certainly talking about our values and what was important to us.
That's not quite true either.
And we paved the way for that election platform well in advance. But listen, it's about talking about what we stand for.
These reporters just calling this idiot out on it. Oh, God. This guy is just like, dude, just hang it up. Take your golden pension and just ride off into the sunset. Off to Ukraine you go.
I would like to add something to that. You said, has something changed? Yes, something's changed. Look at the Conservative Party of Canada. This is a party that used to support Ukraine. It's now a party that won't even vote in favor of a free trade agreement with Ukraine, won't vote to support elements of Operation Unifier that directly supports Ukraine. Has something changed? Absolutely. The Conservative Party...
This guy's such a joke. What he's talking about, there's a bill, but it included a carbon tax on Ukrainians. So the conservatives said no against it because they don't want a stupid carbon tax. Like, why? What, is this all going to WEF? Like, what is going on here, man? Our country's run by the biggest idiots. This guy here, what was his name? Garrison or something? I don't know, just Captain Fool. That's his name from now on. So this guy, Captain Fool, that's going to be his name from now on. And his sidekick, Grey Poupon. These guys, there's nothing else to say. These guys are absolute fools. And I'm just glad the reporters, stood up and just kind of put them in their place. It's like, yo, there's not even election going on. There's no campaigning because he hasn't announced a platform. There's no official, election happening yet. So this guy just basically wanted to come out and sling some mud and just kind of run his name through the ground, just kind of dirty it up. I'm guessing Justin Trudeau put these guys up to this and say, hey, just go down there and kind of make a bit of a ruckus, mention Donald Trump. We just need to keep mentioning Donald Trump to try to scare Canadians so they won't vote for him. That's my guess. That seems very logical of what that narcissist would try to do. So, yeah, that's all I got for you in this one. Be sure to stay warm, stay fed. I'll see you in the next one.